Hello friends, in this video we dive deep into the profound connection between Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 30 and the cutting edge theories of the quantum physics. Thousands of years ago, the Gita declared within quotes, the soul dwelling within the body is immortal and can never be slain. Quote close. Today, modern science is beginning to echo this ancient wisdom through the lens of the laws of conservation of information and the quantum observer effect. How? Let's explore this further. Let me ask you, who are you? Are you a collection of atoms, a biological machine programmed by DNA, or are you something more? For centuries, we have lived in a world defined by what we touch and see. We, think about death, and we think that death was an ending and matter has a final truth. But today, the walls of realities are crumbling. At the very edge of the modern science, in this strange and beautiful world of the quantum physics, we are finding echoes of voice that spoke thousands of years ago on a battlefield in India. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 30, Bhagwan Krishna, Shri Krishna, delivers a statement that sounds like a religious doctrine and more like a law of high level physics. He says, within quote, Dahi Nityam Avodya Yam De Sarvasya Bharata. The dweller within the body is immortal and can never be slain. Therefore, you should never grieve for any living being. Today we are going to bridge two worlds. We are going to look at how this ancient Sanskrit verse isn't just a spiritual comfort, it is a blueprint for the quantum reality. To understand the science, we must first understand the context. Arjuna is standing in the middle of a civil war. He is paralyzed by grief. He sees his teachers, his elders, and his friends, and he says their impending death. To Arjuna, the body is the person. If the body falls, the person is gone forever. But Krishna stops him. He introduced the concept of Dehi, which is the dweller. Krishna explains that the body is merely a vessel, a temporary localized event. The dweller inside is Avadya, meaning the indestructible, invulnerable, and incapable of being diminished. Krishna's argument for which Arjun should not grieve is profoundly logical. You cannot mourn the destruction of something that cannot be destroyed. But for a long time, Western science disagreed. We believed that when the brain stops, the observer stops. We believed that we are slayable. That is until we started looking at the very small. In classical physics, we have the laws of conservation of energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It only changes the form. And this is the first scientific echo of chapter 2, verse 30. If you are a form of energy, you are by definition immortal immortal in the eyes of physics. However, modern quantum physics goes a little further, and it says that laws of conservation of information. In the quantum world, information describes the state of a system. Most physicists, including the late Stephen Hawking, after years of debate, concluded that information can never be lost. Even if you burn a book, the information contained in its ashes and smoke technically still exists in the universe quantum description. If the universe doesn't allow the information of a single atom to be lost, why would it allow the information of a conscious being, the Dehi, to vanish? Krishna's immortal dweller is essentially the ultimate quantum information that persists regardless of the state of the physical hardware or the body. Perhaps the most Gita-like discovery in science is the observer effect. In quantum mechanics, particles don't exist in a single spot until they are looked at. Before observation, they exist as a wave of probability. They are everywhere and nowhere at once. It is the act of observation that collapses this wave into a physical particle. This suggests that the observer is not a byproduct of the matter, but a requirement for matter to exist as we see it. When Krishna says the soul is the immortal observer within the body, he is positioning consciousness as the fundamental reality. In Gita, the body is the kshetras, the field, and the soul is the shretajana, which is the knower of the field. Modern physics is starting to ask if the observer is needed to manifest reality. Can the observer be part of a physical machine they are observing? Most quantum pioneers like Max Planck believed the answer was no. Planck famously said, I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as the derivative from consciousness. This is exactly what verse 30 of chapter 2 is telling us. The dweller is the fundamental constant. The body is the derivative. Why is this significant for humans of today? We live in an age of unprecedented anxiety. We fear loss, we fear aging, and we fear the slaying of our identity. But the intersection of Gita and quantum physics offer a radical shift in the perspective. If you are the immortal observer, then your core identity is not collapsed into your bank account, your physical appearance, or your social status. Those are just the waves of the field. Your true self is the field itself. When Krishna says, therefore, you should not grieve, he is asking us to be heartless. He is asking us to be limitless. He is saying that when we lose someone, we are only losing the particle state, the localization form, the wave state, the essence. The information, which is the Dehi, remains part of the eternal quantum fabric of the universe. Science and spirituality are often seen as two parallel lines that never touches. But in verse 2 of chapter 30 of Bhagavad Gita, those lines meet. The ancient wisdom tells us the soul is immortal. Modern science tells us information and energies are conserved. Ancient wisdom tells us the dweller is the ultimate reality. Modern science tells us the observer defines the world. The immortal observer isn't just a religious concept, it is a scientific possibility. So next time when you look into the mirror, remember you aren't just looking at a body that is aging. You are the dweller within. You are the observer of the stars, made of some indestructible stuff as the stars themselves. And as the Gita says, you are ever invulnerable as you are eternal. Don't just live in the world, observe it, because observer never dies. Friends, like to know your comments in the section below, and I will catch you again in the next one.